everyone, this is Miss Angelique 2012. This is my third time actually recording this video because I keep getting interrupted. But as you can see by the title, it's a not so good video. But I am doing better. I'm just gonna try to speed up this video, and I'm looking down on my notes. It's right there. If you watch my five week update, you would know that I was trying to make my first prenatal appointment. I was waiting for them to call me back to make the appointment, but I ended up calling them that following Monday, and they made me an appointment for Thursday, which was July 25th. So I went to the appointment. The appointment wasn't really much. They just took my blood pressure, my weight, and the doctor came and talked to me, just a normal prenatal visit. She didn't do no pap smear, no anything like that, like they usually do. I don't know why, but she didn't. Probably because, did I get one this year? I don't know. No, I didn't. I got one like in December of last year, so I'm not really sure why she didn't do it. But she didn't do anything to me. She just told me to. She just made me an appointment for my ultrasound, which was the next day, which was Friday, July 26th, and she prescribed me my prenatal vitamins and all of that good stuff. So the next day, I went to my ultrasound appointment, and they did the lady did ultrasound vaginally. She could only see the sac because I was so early. I was 5 weeks and 5 weeks, 6 days at the time, but she could only see the sac because I was early. So that went fine. Then the following Monday morning, I woke up and I was cramping. It wasn't that much cramping, but it was enough for me to notice. I thought it was just gas. So something just told me just to go to the restroom just to be sure that everything's okay. So I went, and when I went to go wipe, I saw like brown blood, I guess you can call it. And immediately I freaked out because with my last pregnancy with Nevaeh, I didn't bleed at all. The only time I bled was when I was in labor. Well, after I gave birth. So I immediately freaked out. My fiance took me to the ER, and I went to ER. They told me to use the restroom and told me to go pee in the cup, and they took blood from me, which I still have bruises from, and they like after they did all of that, maybe about 30 minutes later, well, they gave me a big cup of water to tell me to drink it because I was gonna go get ultrasound. So a few minutes later, maybe about like 20-30 minutes later, I went in for ultrasound. The ultrasound took about 30 minutes. She did the ultrasound with the full bladder first, and then she told me to empty my bladder, and then she did a vaginal ultrasound. So the one thing about ultrasound techs in the ER, they don't tell you anything. They just do what they're supposed to do, and then they tell you that your doctor or whoever is gonna give you the results. So I didn't know anything. I was trying to look, but I didn't know what I was looking at. So I started to bleed more and more. Like when I went in for the ultrasound, I was bleeding, like it went from dark brown blood to bright red blood, and I knew something was wrong. Because dark brown blood, it's not really that much to worry about in early pregnancy. But when it turns to bright red blood, I was like, okay, yeah, something's wrong. So after the ultrasound, me and my fiance, we waited in the ER room for about literally 2 hours. So they finally came, the doctor finally came, and the nurse, and they told me that my HCG levels were 537, and at the time I was 6 weeks, and at 6 weeks your HCG levels should be about 1,000 and something, if I'm not mistaken. So I automatically knew something was wrong. The doctor was like, and then by the way, I was cramping even more, and he was just like, the baby is still in there, but most likely, you're gonna miscarry. And of course, like I started bawling and crying because I was just like, why is this happening? Like we both wanted the baby, but we lost it. So um, he prescribed me some medicine for nausea, and I was just so ready to leave the ER. I didn't even think to ask him for pain pills. But once I left the ER, my pain started kicking in. I swear, I kid you not, I felt like I was in labor all over again. And in a way, I guess it is kind of labor because your body is trying to release the baby. The embryo. So it's kind of like labor because it felt like contractions. It was ongoing pain, but the worst pain was every few minutes. But I didn't have no type of pain medication. I cried myself to sleep. I eventually fell asleep, and whenever I wake up in the middle of my sleep, the pain starts back immediately. So I hurry up, try to go back to sleep. So that morning, the next morning, which was July 30th, I decided to call my OB to tell her to prescribe me some medicine for pain medicine, and she was like, you know what, you're going through that much pain, you need to go back to the ER. And at the time she wasn't really aware that I was actually miscarrying. She just said they said it was a threatened miscarriage. They didn't say it was a miscarriage, but the on-call doctor at the ER was just like, it's a threatened miscarriage, but you're most likely gonna miscarry. They use the word threatened miscarry very, very loosely. So I went back, and the nurse was awful. She was like, well, you came back yesterday. You came here yesterday, so it's not much we're gonna be able to do. Just basically you miscarrying. So why are you back here? But mainly I was really back. I had some type of small hope that my HCG levels were gonna rise, and I just had some tiny small hope. But they just took my blood, and about 3 hours later, I don't know why it takes them so long just to test some blood, but 3 hours later, they came back, and the same on-call doctor was there. He's like, wow, you're back? I'm like, yeah, I'm back. And my HCG levels were 115. So I was like, this is happening. You're miscarrying the baby. So he prescribed me some pain medicine, and by that time I wasn't even in that much pain anymore. I dealt with the pain without pain medication. I was in the most pain that previous night, which was the day of when everything first started happening. So he prescribed me some Tylenol 3, which is Tylenol with codeine in it. And I was still in a little bit pain, so I took some, and I just went to sleep. And that very next day I already had another appointment with my doctor anyway, so I went back, and she told me, I had a spontaneous miscarriage, which is very common. It's not nothing not nothing I could have done to prevent it. It just happens. And she told me that she wants me to come back in 2 weeks, so she's gonna do another blood test to make sure that my levels are 0. So, and then she asked me if I wanted to get on an birth control. I was like, no, I don't mind getting pregnant again. She was like, okay, well, continue to take your prenatals and come back in 2 weeks. So I go back to doctor August 14th. In the meantime, me and my fiance are gonna keep trying. I'm trying. My goal is to get pregnant before I even have my period. Which is kind of not too good, because they're not gonna be able to know exactly how far along you are, because you're not gonna have a last menstrual period. But I did research, and I saw all different types of things, a lot of women do it. So if I can do it, if it's possible for me to get pregnant before my next period, then I will do that. So we're gonna try again, but in about 2 weeks I go back. So it was very devastating. I wasn't expecting it at all, because my last pregnancy went well. Why shouldn't the next pregnancy go well? But a lot of people go through, even after having a I'm sorry, I can't even say that word right now. Even after having a good, healthy pregnancy, it still happens. But I'm better now. As you can see, everything happened about a week ago. Well, almost a week ago. It will be tomorrow, so I'm much better. So, you know, you will see more videos with me. Trust me, in about 4 weeks, I will be doing pregnancy vlogs again, keeping my fingers crossed. So, if you have any, like, suggestions, like, advice, anything uplifting, like, feel free to comment, inbox, whatever. But that's about it. This video didn't really go how I planned, because it was kind of all over the place to me, but that's about it, and I will update you guys in about 2 weeks. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.